Well, how's it going? Welcome to the AsOne Fall Gala, or Gala. You can discuss amongst yourself how you pronounce it. Online. I'm so glad that you guys could join us. Get comfortable, grab yourself a drink, snuggle in. As people are kind of gathering, I'm going to start us off with a song. Again, my name is Jeffrey Buck, and it's my privilege to be providing music for this year's gala. So here we go. Myself an lost touch. Favorite fruit is chocolate covered cherries. The seedless watermelon. Oh, and nothing from the ground is good enough. The body rise. Look what's over me. Oh, cherry, you're golden. Seeing moons rebirth, rains make mirrors of the earth. The sun was just yellow energy. Yeah, there is a living promised land, even over fields of sand. It seasons fill my mind and cover me. Bring it back more than cherry, your golden ways are walking down upon this face. Oh, cherry, I'm singing out loud to guide me. Give me your strength, give me your strength.
Hi everyone, I'm Melissa Guthrie, Director of Administration with AsOne Ministries, and welcome to our 2020 online version of the Fall Gala. We're so sad that you couldn't join us in person this year, but we're excited to share with you all that God is doing in Uganda and what's to come in 2021. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the next 30 minutes. Check out this video.
We believe all people bear the image of God. We believe all people have a profound sense of dignity, worth, and importance. That's our starting point. Yet people live in extreme poverty across the globe. Nearly 30 million people in Uganda live on less than $2.40 per day. That's 33 times the population of the state of South Dakota. These very people find themselves trapped in a cycle of poverty, dependency, and toxic charity. We want to change that. They want to change that.
I want to change that. I want to change that.
I want to change that.
Thousands of communities across Uganda lack the necessary resources and infrastructure for their leaders to change their own tomorrow. AsOne is an organization in Uganda owned by
Me.
owned, led, and operated by the people of Uganda, dedicated to being the change for their people, their communities, and their country.
We are building sustainable solutions, schools, farms, and small businesses as social enterprises that
Train. Educate.
Create jobs.
With a financially sustainable model that can be replicated into community after community.
we want to end poverty for our country.
And you can help them do that.
We are helping them do that.
I am helping them do that.
We are helping them do that.
I'm helping them do that.
We are helping them do that.
You're helping us in
Relational, spiritual, and economic poverty.
As one community!
Because all people have a profound sense of dignity, worth, and importance.
Hey everybody, and welcome to tonight's Fall Gala. Whether you are coming and joining us in person or you're joining us here online, we want to say thank you. We're honored to have you as a part of our AsOne family. And so before we get started, I want to thank everybody who's made this event possible. To our volunteers, to our staff, to our board, all around the United States, to the companies in Sioux Falls and Mitchell that are helping us pull off this event in a year like 2020. We want to thank our church partners who have faithfully walked alongside us to ensure that our mission can continue to go forward. And lastly, those who are helping us put on the entertainment for this evening, from Jeffrey, who opened up with music, to Pinnacle Productions, to the Atrium by Blue Haven and Seaf Style. We're so thankful for everybody who's made this event possible. So before we get started, I would like you to meet the people that we work for and with, and that we're dedicated to seeing that they can be the agents of change in their own communities. So take a watch.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome. We are with our team in Uganda. Welcome to the AsOne Fall Gala. It's good to see all of you.
It's good to see you.
Why don't you guys all welcome or say hi to our guests here in South Dakota?
Hi everyone.
Hi.
No.
How are you in South Dakota?
Yeah. Hey, Innocent. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm very happy to be with you in this New Year Gala. Woo! I'm very happy.
Hey, Henry, team in Eastern Uganda, why don't you guys tell us where you're at and welcome everybody to Uganda.
Hi everyone, welcome to Uganda. Right now we are standing at our AsOne base or AsOne offices. We couldn't make it to be there today, but we are really excited and thankful to technology that we can live attend this Fall Gala. We thank God for what you are doing and what He has helped us to accomplish even throughout these uncertainties. God has still given us opportunities to keep moving on. Welcome, and we say thank you so much.
Hi everyone at the gala. I'm Wandera Dennis, the Director of Agriculture for AsOne Ministries Uganda. I'm here at the AsOne farm. What is my hope for those living in poverty? My hope is to increase farm production and productivity for the people through trainings, capacity building, using knowledge uptake to enforce transition from subsistence production to commercial production, which entails dairy production, crop production, piggery, and poultry, to mention but a few. Thanks to everyone at this gala for making this dream for Uganda come true.
Hi everyone at the gala, you're so welcome. I'm Innocent Kabagambe, the Director of Operations of AsOne Ministries Uganda in Western Uganda, and I'm here at Kreta High School in Rwanyabihuka. Thanks to you all for making this dream true for Uganda possible. Because of your generosity, your support, and also believing on what God is doing here in Rwanyabihuka at Kreta High School. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone at the gala. I'm Sigere Fiona, the Director of Community Engagement, AsOne Ministries Uganda, Namayemba. Right now I'm standing in one of the homes in Namayemba village in Eastern Uganda. The true impact for AsOne Ministries is transforming the whole person. And this is done through education, where we look at shaping future leaders and citizens of tomorrow. And this is also done through enterprises like agriculture, bakery, and the saloon, where we are looking at fighting poverty, hence sustainable development. Thank you for loving AsOne Ministries Uganda. Thank you for supporting AsOne Ministries. We love you. Thank you very much. Enjoy the gala.
Hi everyone at the Fall Gala. This is Henry Iwumbwe, the Director AsOne Ministries Uganda, and right now I'm standing at AsOne High School, one of our schools that we operate in Eastern Uganda. And my hope and my dream for AsOne Ministries is to see that AsOne becomes an organization that creates solutions to the long-standing problems, hence creating a self-sustaining community in the communities where we head to serve. And this is possible, or can be made possible, through education, through agriculture, through social enterprise, and all of them integrated with the discipleship, hence bring back the holistic transformation of the people and the communities where we serve. Thank you.
Hello friends at Gaila, I'm Sylvia Wambaye, the Director of Operations for AsOne Ministries. Here I'm standing is the bakery production room. Our advice is that having a good job can change the lives of those living in poverty. They are confident, they are hardworking, they develop a hardworking spirit that they can face their own challenges, their own problems, and they can be able to change their own future. They can be able to eradicate poverty by themselves. Thank you for helping us support these people to change their own lives. Thank you for your generosity. God bless you.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Thank you so much.
We love you so much.
Yeah, bye Dennis. Goodbye Sylvia. Thanks Henry. Thanks Mona. Innocent, thank you. We love you guys. We appreciate everything you do to see that your communities will be changed. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your time there.
So tonight, our goal for the AsOne Gala is to raise $50,000. And what I'm going to do is I'm not here to persuade you. I'm not here to convince you as to why AsOne should be the organization that you should invest with. But I want to show you how your investment has been over the last 5 years and continues to today to transform lives. The ways that it's transforming lives and it's transforming communities, and that it is fundamentally working to end spiritual, relational, and economic poverty, one community at a time. So I'm so excited to share with you all
that we've been able to do, everything that we're moving towards, and the ways that it is affecting one life and one community at a time. And so to begin, I want to talk about the effects of COVID-19, particularly in Uganda. We're all well aware of the ways that it's affected us, whether that's economically or from a health standpoint. But I want to give everybody some perspective on the ways in which it has brought challenges to a country like Uganda, a country that is actually the size of the state of Oregon, but has a population of almost 45 million people. It's the world's second fastest growing population, a population that has nearly 80% of it is under the age of 30. And to date, Uganda has just about 4,000 COVID-19 cases and under 50 deaths. So the health consequences of COVID-19, from what we can tell, haven't affected Uganda the way it has other parts of the world, but the economic effects have been devastating. In Uganda, they would say over the last few months, a recent UNICEF report says that there are nearly 2.6 million new people that have fallen below what they would call that poverty index line. 2.6 million. That's nearly 36 times the total capacity of US Bank Stadium. We could fill it up 36 times. And that's how many people, image bearers, people made in the image of God, made to reflect His very character and nature, have fallen back into this devastating economic state. And also with COVID-19 and the lockdowns that came in Uganda in early March, the ways they shut down the airport, shut down the border, shut down schools, shut down churches, completely halted economic activity. Another 20 million students, they say, are currently not in school. But the thing that was so inspiring is the way that our friends, the way that our team in Uganda, though there was a lot of fear, especially as they were watching the things that were happening take place in Europe and the United States, they responded as heroes. They responded with great courage, and they wanted to figure out creative ways to protect their communities. And so we did a variety of things, starting with a little program that we called Push the Week. And Push the Week was a way that we were able to provide packets of training as well as access to seed for a specific vegetable in Uganda that grows rather quickly called sukuma wiki, and literally it means push the week. This nutritious spinach and kale-like vegetable was a way for us to empower nearly 300 people, about 80 to 90 families, to continue to grow crops during this time, to continue to ensure that they had access to food. Because one of the major fears in Uganda when the lockdown came was that there was almost a 36-day period where people were not allowed to go out and to walk around and to even move anywhere without government permission. And then thanks to many people like you, we were able to step up, and we were able to provide nearly 1,000 families with access to 2.5 weeks of food. It was these packages that our team passed out alongside the Ministry of Health and alongside the district leadership in our two communities. 1,000 families for an average family of 5 to 6 people. That's 5,000 to 6,000 people that were cared for during this time. And so you can see some photos of the packs we put together and the people and the families that received them. It was tremendous the ways we were able to provide that type of support, and something we've really never done before. And then with schools being shut down, we actually took our teachers and we rewrote their job descriptions. We essentially made them into social workers, and these teachers went out to home after home, and they've done this for months now, wearing their masks, ensuring that they were protecting the students, brought these packets, these study packets that the Ministry of Education created, and brought them each of our students. 437 students that we brought them to. And the teachers were assigned about 10 to 15 students a week. And each teacher of the 30 to 35 that we have will go from home to home every single day throughout this period to ensure that kids still had an opportunity. Many students are going to have to restart the class that they began this year. They say almost 50% of schools in Uganda might not be able to reopen because of the economic hardship that they've been put in. We were the only school to be able to provide these packets that the Ministry of Education created in the 2 communities that we work in. And this is because of people like you and your generosity. And so you can see the ways in which our teachers remain dedicated to protecting the communities that we work in, keeping that long-term perspective and that long-term mission. We were able to provide over $30,000 so far this year in COVID-19 relief and recovery type work for the economic hardship that Uganda faced. And so that's what, took place in this present crisis that we were in, but that's not our whole story. That's not what we're all about. And so I want to begin now with telling you about AsOne's story and how it all got started. So back in 2014, I was living in Mitchell, South Dakota, going to Dakota Wesleyan University. And I had a professor, Alicia Vincent. I remember sitting in the cafeteria at school, and she asked me if I wanted to go and take a trip to East Africa with her. And I looked at her and I said, no way. And I smiled. I said, I can't miss, 2 days of football. I couldn't go over and, spend time in Africa. And honestly, I'm not really interested in the short-term missions thing. She stayed with it, and she was kind of persistent and asked if she could create an opportunity for me to spend the majority of my summer over there. I said, I'm not that interested in helping. I'm not that interested in doing this typical mission trip. She said, that's okay. She said, we'll create this opportunity for you to immerse yourself, to build relationships. You'll be at this rural school, and you'll just get to know people, and you'll get a deeper look at poverty. And so it was kind of my goal. I wanted to immerse myself and build connections and try to understand the struggle of those who were living in poverty. Taking the half-hour walk down and the two-hour walk up with jerry cans of water on our heads. I did that with mothers, and to walk around the dirt roads of these villages and come to build a relationship and get connected and try to understand the deep complexities of what poverty is, and ultimately understand what God is doing in the midst of these great problems that billions of people around the world face. And what I found was God at work, not necessarily through me, not necessarily through anything that I had to offer or anything that I could do, but through the people that I met, raising up local people, inspiring the hearts of local people. Those who were closest to the problem were the ones that I realized had the greatest energy and knowledge and understanding of what it would take to overcome the poverty that the people that they knew and loved faced. And I felt compelled. I felt energized. I wanted to come back, and I wanted to tell everybody about what I had seen, what I had saw. So my senior year, speaking at chapel, talking about it whenever I can. I'm sure people got terribly tired of me and wondered when my little rant was going to end. But I actually decided I was going to go back the next summer and bring my closest friends with me, Joe and Tim and Isaac, and we did the same thing. Staying in mud houses, we wanted to learn. We wanted to listen. We wanted to understand what could be done. What was something new that could be done to help solve these ancient problems? And we decided that we were going to think differently about poverty. We were going to think differently about our methods for ending it, for eradicating it. And that started with having to end this idea of charity, having to get rid of this idea of charity where we just give people things and we provide handouts. Saw it over and over again, and it realized that it was helping serve people in poverty, but it wasn't necessarily getting them out of it. And we saw the ways in which as we would provide people handouts and people would be handed things, it actually took away people's agency, dignity, to be creators, cultivators, to be co-contributors in seeing the problems that themselves, their families faced. And with that, we had to start to move away from relief when what was needed was development. We had to move away from relief when what was needed was development. But this, like I said, this handout thing was not going to work any longer. And so much a part of it had to do with the way that we saw ourselves as outsiders, as these missionaries who were supposed to be the ones to come in and change things. We're supposed to make an impact. We're supposed to, have all the answers to the problems. And it was actually these paradigms, I felt like, that was truly destructive, creating these cycles of toxic charity and dependency that was not truly allowing people to be the pioneers, to be the change agents themselves, those who were closest to the problem, to be the ones to actually transform the communities we were getting in the way. And so what we wanted to focus on, this is me, the team in Uganda, as we talked and prayed, we wanted to focus on long-term sustainability, long-term solutions to these ancient problems, not focusing entirely on short-term needs or the ways that we could fix things overnight. But we wanted to change things with this financially sustainable operating model. And then second, we didn't really want it to be a thing where it was Americans empowering Ugandans, but to actually create a culture, to actually create a movement where those Ugandans who were able to lift themselves out of the struggles that they were in could actually offer the same help, the same encouragement, the same empowerment to those within their own communities. So we have this little mantra where we would say Ugandans empowering Ugandans to be the change. And so it started small, and I remember the ways that we helped Henry, the young entrepreneur, start his first school out of a mud church, in the church that he had attended. And we had little resources, but we had a lot of passion. And I remember Mama Claudette beginning her own tailoring business, and Rafiki and his family taking their passion around pottery and the skill that they had around pottery and getting training courses and classes and learning how he could turn it into more of a commercial project. And young girls like Salima, these 16-year-old girls who had dropped out of school, working as a prostitute, had a child, wanting to reverse the effects, to reverse the trajectory that she found herself on. And so, getting to see young girls like her graduate from elementary school at 17, 18 years old. And the thing that people were telling us was that AsOne was helping them see their dreams realized, their lives changed, their families changed, their trajectory changed. So it was in 2018 that we actually wanted to make changes too. We wanted to take this inspiration that we had received, this vision, these values, and actually make it something that could be institutionalized, something that could be scalable, something that could be there for decades and decades to come. And so we wanted to take everything that we did and build it as a social enterprise that was owned, led, operated by our nonprofit in Uganda, from the board of director down to every single staff person. This was their organization that was going to be their agency to create change, and it was going to make social and spiritual impact while being entirely financially sustainable. And it was going to be dedicated to training, educating, creating jobs, and making disciples. And so in just 2 years, this is how it's worked out. This is our first community that we started working in, called Namayemba, located in eastern Uganda. And this was a little guest house that we had, and that guest house has turned into a full-fledged headquarters where we have, housing that we can offer. We have a bakery, we have an outdoor pavilion that the community uses. We have our offices and our headquarters. This base has been able to be the launching pad where just last year we started constructing our first high school in this community. And this is what it looked like last summer. And then this is what it looked like last September. And then just this summer, this is the progress that has been made. And in Rwanyabihuka over in western Uganda, this small little remote community, I remember the first time I went over with Josh, Jody, Allie, and Emmanuel and got to see and experience Emmanuel's community that he grew up in. And this little school was barely existing, and just in 2 years later, you can see the transformation that has happened. This is the first ever high school in the history of forever to exist in this place, and students are walking 2 to 3 to 4 hours to access an opportunity they never thought they had. And we were able to take these small agriculture projects that we were doing and turn it into full-fledged farms that feed all of our students at our schools, 10 acres at each school now. And these farms help us reduce our operating costs, help us reduce inventory, and help us move and grow towards greater sustainability while becoming demonstration farms in the communities. Our little organization, with just a couple of us, over the last 2 years has grown to over 60 employees. And you can see this team, our teachers at our high schools, our men and women who work at our salon that's now doubling and expanding to date because of our friends at Hollywood Styles and many of you, and then our women at our bakery, and the men that work there too. That team of 13 now are selling 1,500 units of bread every single day. They've blown sales out of the waters during COVID. They've been resilient, and they understand the importance of this work. They understand the ways that it doesn't only empower them, but it empowers the person next to them, living into that mantra of Ugandans empowering Ugandans. And we've grown from just 2 years to from 78 students to 437 students. Like I said, students that never thought an education was possible. Higher rates of girls than guys attending the school because parents can now afford to send their daughters to a quality school where they have full-fledged science labs, they have access to technology and computers, they're getting a transformative education where they're learning what it means to follow Jesus in the world and to build commerce and opportunity in the world that actually glorifies God. So you can see these kids at the AsOne High School this year. We started with 114 students on our first year of being able to operate. And the thing that excites us the most is we've been able to take these social enterprises and provide training opportunities for over 2,000 people in the communities that we work. Starting in farming, we're able to provide access to seed, we're able to provide access to improved skills, and through a really low-cost model, and able to utilize our land. Farmers like Stephen are seeing, just after one season, a 4 to 6 times greater crop yield. That means more income for their families. That means more food for their kids. That means flourishing for them. And they're getting it in a context where they're understanding how God plays a role and how God is so deeply involved in the work that they do. And so you can see how excited these farmers are. And at our AsOne Salon, we're getting to a point where every quarter we have up to 30 men and women paying. They're paying themselves to come there and to learn how they can take their skills and turn it into a business. And so our salon for 2 years now has been 100% financially sustainable, and we're so excited to get to expand it. And I just think this is a really cool project. Our team over at Crater High School takes our pig farm, and every time we have a litter of 8 to 10 pigs, they take half of it and they distribute it to members in the community. And they train them on how to keep their livestock. They help them learn how to use the manure as fertilizer. And then after those pigs have a litter, then they give half of the litter back to us, returning our investment to us times 4. And then they actually have their own new investment that they can grow, that they can sell the pigs, they can utilize the manure for fertilizer. It's an amazing model that is helping get families out of poverty. And the thing that excites me most is that 5 years ago, none of this existed. None of what you see today was there. This is all because of the ingenuity and the passion and the drive that our team in Uganda has. But it's also because of you. And an event like this, I remember in 2016 meeting in my aunt's restaurant, and there was 30 of you that came. And those 30 of you helped us raise $15,000 to actually help that Henry that I talked about earlier take his little school out of a mud church and begin to build it himself. And the next year, maybe we had 100 people, and those 100 people helped us kick things off at Crater High School, helped us get started in our second community. And the next year, as it continued to grow, that group of you that were there helped build out Crater High School and helped us build offices and dormitories so that we could build this full-fledged campus in a community that had never had a high school before. And last year, nearly 300 of you joined us out at Blue Haven Barn, where we were able to make the future now and build the initial needs of the AsOne High School so it could launch. And this AsOne High School, like I said, we had 114 students on the opening day ceremony. We had almost 200 to 250 people there from the community to celebrate. And I remember the district education officer standing up and saying, "This is exactly what the community needed." And this is because of what many people like you have been able to help us do. So since 2015, we've been able to raise nearly $2.5 million from 821 generous people. And this year, our desire is to finish these two high schools, the AsOne High School and at Crater High School. We want to finish the outstanding architectural plans that we have there, so that these schools can grow into their max capacity of having anywhere from 400 to 500 students and could grow into their full financial sustainability model. Our future vision then is as we move forward, we can begin to replicate and expand. That our goal by 2023 is to expand into 5 total communities. That's 3 new communities in the next 3 years. And we want to take this architectural plan. We want to build 3 primary schools. And so you can see this plan. We want to be able to scale it and grow it, where in 3 years it could become operationally sustainable. And then year after year, your donations are helping us actually expand impact. They're helping grow. We're using it as capital, where we then can multiply your gift. And your gift is multiplied because the first year there may just be 114 kids, but then the second year, 250, the third year, 350, the fourth year, 500 students at one school. We suspect by 2023 we'll be at 1,600 students. That in 10 years, we'll be at 5,000 students. And every year those schools are generating the revenue they need to sustain their operations because you invested in local leaders, invested in their agency, and you invested in their dreams to transform their communities. It's pretty cool. I have an amazing opportunity. I get to see the impact that takes place over time. Our executive director in Uganda, Henry, who you heard talk earlier, Henry was my buddy. We stayed in a little mud house together when he was a teacher, and I had no clue what I was doing with my life. And now Henry is this leader of nearly 60 employees and growing. And he gets to invest in them, and he gets to be the leader for this change that is happening in his community. I get to see stories of women like Salama, who at 31 decided to leave prostitution, decided to follow Jesus, and wanted to go back into school. So started as a 31-year-old, as a junior in high school, and now is out looking for a job as a nursery teacher. The trajectory for her and her 3 kids, their life looks fundamentally different because of what you guys have invested in. Girls like Fiona, who lost her mom several years ago, helps raise her several siblings, and is actually the #1 student at Crater High School. And I remember her looking me in the eyes and telling me she wanted to be a doctor. I told her, I looked her back and said, I believe that you can. You are making stories like that possible. And our dear Joanne, who helps lead and operate our bakery, a single mom of 2. And this single mom with a university degree never thought she could find a job in a rural village. Now she's leading and operating our bakery, a bakery that is almost 100% financially sustainable. It's at about 90%, and they continue to grow their sales. They continue to increase their efficiencies. And we can see the ways that it is transforming lives, spiritually, relationally, economically. It is not just serving people in poverty, but getting them out of it. And that's why we are dedicated to ending relational, spiritual, and economic poverty, one community at a time. In your investment, it will help expand that. It will help multiply that impact. It'll help truly change the world. My privilege is that I get to continue to put myself in front of this, get to continue to tell stories of the way that God is working. And if there's any encouragement that I could give this year, it's that to continue to put yourself in front of those struggles. Yeah, COVID-19 has affected a lot of us, and there's a lot of things going on in our lives, but I've realized it's so easy to look inward. It is so easy to choose apathy. It is so easy to be paralyzed and to overlook the great problems in the world. But the reality is that, like me, we can all do something about it. And I feel like I offer very little to this, but I get to be a part of this amazing movement, and you can too. You can continue to put yourself in front of these problems, dig into it, press harder, and when you do that, I promise the reward will be there. And so tonight, I want to invite you to helping us reach that goal. I showed you the ways that your investment will truly be multiplied in impacting lives, and it will go deeper than you could have thought or imagined. So I want to invite you. Text AsOne to 44321 and help us reach that goal. The first $17,000 tonight is going to be matched from a $10,000 gift, a $5,000 gift, and another $2,000 gift. And so your gift will be doubled, and your impact in Uganda will be multiplied, and it will continue to grow. And you will see lives continue to be transformed over and over again because you're investing in people who are close to the problem, who want to see it changed. So yeah, that, text AsOne, ASONE to 44321, or jump onto our silent auction. You can scan the QR code there or go to our website and check it out. We'd love for you guys to bid. We would love for you to get involved. We would love for you to be a part of this movement of ending poverty, one community at a time. I want to say thank you. I feel like I stand on the shoulders of a lot of amazing people who have believed in this vision, who have jumped in and said yes to what God's doing. So let's continue to do it. Let's continue to dream big. Let's continue to run fast. Let's continue to go far. Can't thank you enough for being a part of this journey with me. God bless.